Hello, folks. This is the fourth time I try to record a video. I'm getting lots of interference here, so I hope this works this time because I'm getting tired. My update is regarding Sandy and the hurricane tornado trip that went on the East Coast. Many of the light workers were very upset that that took place. But when I asked my spiritual oversight, they told me that it was allowed and co-created with the Galactics to purge and cleanse the East Coast. Now, Mother Earth does not create hurricanes and tornadoes. She just doesn't. She doesn't attack herself, and she doesn't attack humanity. That's not the type of being she is. So that's usually created by man-made things. But since HARP has been put out of commission, I've also been told that there are alternatives to that that can be utilized through satellites, reverse engineered galactic ships, and or renovated regular ships. Um, so whether that was started by them is unclear, but what is been told to me is that the Galactics did move that along and amplify it to stay in one place for a period of time so that cleansing could take place and that there could be a shift in attitude on the East Coast that was sticking the energy and blocking what we all want at this time. The jury's still out on why and how, and uh, I'm not happy with that, but anyways, that was what was agreed to. So hopefully the silver lining to all of that will be that they get new alternative technologies to be in place for them. They have to take down the old in order to reset and reformat the energy grid in North America. So I guess they wanted to start there in New York. I know that they've been doing crystalline communication grid around the planet for some time, but they're doing now new downloads through the satellite system and in the energy grid in North America to bring up the NASAR announcement and to bring on different energy applications with free energy technologies. So I'm hoping that the silver lining will be that for the people in New York and on the East Coast. And there needed to be a shift in consciousness where people hopefully will be more cooperative and more flexible and more amenable to people, to each other, in order for that to take place, because the energies coming in now are asking for that to anchor within the minds and hearts of humanity. So that was the Halloween surprise, and they're also saying there has been some word saying that there may not be another election. There may be announcements before then. I hope that's the case, for they've been saying for some time now that it could happen at any time. So I guess they needed to undo the old in order to bring in the new, in order for that to take place. So that is happening. They are working on it. People are still being arrested, and all that is still taking place. So take heart. Know that the good things are just around the corner. And I'd like to say that, Mother Earth desperately wants all good things for all of us. And what I see, excuse me, what I see taking place is a world where no one has to pay for energy and no one has to pay for utilities and sewage and water and all of that because it's all self-sustaining in their homes. I mean, people's homes could be rebuilt in one day by the Galactics. That's what can and will take place once she transcends into the fifth dimension. She will have to expand her body and have earthquakes, very huge earthquakes, and so humanity will have to be shifted to other locations. Um, but for now, this is the preliminary application to that, to getting things ready for fifth dimensional energetic and communication grids for different industries as well, and municipalities. So all that is taking place. I wanted to address bullying because I think it's rampant here in Vancouver in particular. I was stunned by it when I first moved here, how people kind of walked all over each other. But mostly Canadians. Immigrants seem to be treated differently here for some reason. And in Canada, for some reason, they don't take pride in each other enough, and they don't take pride in Canada enough. They don't take pride in their language enough. And so that's why we're having problems with governments that are run roughshod over their own citizens, and governments who have not stood up for our sovereignty and our languages in the way that they should, because it's only created massive problems here in Vancouver, where there's racial divides and criminality rampant, and reverse discrimination against Canadians that are rampant here, that I'm personally have experienced it in many, many times over and over, sadly to say. And bullying needs to be remedied by the adults. For our children need to see something better and more sustainable and something more constructive in their reality. And so we need to get that energy out of our governments, puppeteer government people, cowards that give away our sovereignty to the Americans, try to attempt to give away our sovereignty to Israel or to China or any other country without the expressed informed consent of the people is treason. That's fascism. That's not democracy, folks. And I wish people would understand this. And since when is it a bad thing? Why do people get all bent out of shape? And it's usually not Canadian citizens, by the way. They get all bent out of shape when we demand them to respect our languages. You know, that if I move to another country out of sheer common courtesy and respect and having the privilege of living there, the least I could do is learn how to read, write, and speak their language. The very least I could do. And that's what I think is the backbone of what the value system is of Canadians, is to respect each other, to cooperate with each other. If you want the privilege of living here, you better bloody well try to assimilate into our value system, respect our laws, and learn our language. And our two main languages, French and English, right? If you don't want to do it, don't come here. And I'll get a big backlash on that one. Well, from who and what special interest group? And how many special interest groups from immigrants are getting paid by the government? That would be very interesting to find out. Because I've seen it from personal experience, and I have friends from all over the world, folks, so it's not about me being a racist. It's about me speaking the truth, having the courage to speak the truth and stand up for our sovereignty, stand up for the rights of Canadians and our culture, and be proud of that and try to better that. Because if you allow people to walk all over you, you get what you deserve. And this is why we're seeing our kids screaming for help, that they're being bullied. That's one of the maladies of being walked over and allowing foreigners to walk all over us and allowing our government to walk all over us. And enough is enough. Let's get these people charged. Let's get them out of positions of authority in our government, in our corporations, in our banks, in our hospitals, in our schools, and let's get them out. And let's put people in there that understand that we want to create a better society. And there's a lot of good people out there like that. But unfortunately, they're kept from being in positions of authority because the dark always want puppeteers in there, and or people that can be mentally malleable for their agendas. And that's part of the reason for immigration. We don't need massive immigration. That's another smoke and mirrors by the dark side. We're moving to ascension. We're moving to a society that's going to be where people don't have to work if they don't want to, where people will have massive amounts of money, where people will have no debt, where we will create and create and create for our own community first. And then if the rest of the world wants it, then great. If they're in alignment with integrity, if they're in alignment with respect of who and what we are and who and what their citizens are, then great. Let's share and collaborate and empower their society as well. But from a position of sovereignty and respect, not this continuous, oh, there's nothing we could do nonsense. And allowing the spin doctors through the media to dupe you into believing, the spin doctors in our educational system to continue to dupe us into giving our power away. And enough is enough. That's what we need to do for our children. To empower our children, they need to say something better, more heart-centered, more constructive. Okay? So, and we need to get gambling out of our society. The dark Anunnaki, reptilians, they love gambling. The dark dragons in Asia, they're particularly fond of it. And it's like opening up your window and throwing your money out the window. That's what I think gambling is about. It's a parasitic illusion that they prey on your dreams and they prey on your money in your pocketbook. everybody. The reality is that the universe is unlimitedly abundant, that we are unlimitedly abundant, and yet they played the divide and conquer lack game on all of us and dupe us into believing, that only the wealthy, only this and that. It's not true. So I'm saying people that align and support gambling are not in integrity, and they need to reevaluate that. Well, they may say, well, I'm being judgmental. Well, I'm speaking my truth and what I think will benefit the highest good for all. And because gambling goes along with drug use, it goes along with alcohol addiction, it goes along with all these sexual addictions and all of these other uh, dark ET programs that have been perpetuated upon us by the dark Illuminati applications on the planet. And we need to get rid of that. We need to understand where that comes from and make healthy choices, because that's all falls into the bullying agenda as well. Okay. There's a legal thing going on right now in Montreal with regard to the corruption in construction and apartment building and contractor contracts, and that goes on in every single city across Canada. And I know that there's a lot of criminality going on there regarding bridge contracts, big government contracts. Did you always notice they're always over budget? Always. Why is that? I'm asking the media to really go after, follow the money. Who on a municipal level in every city, who is friends with who? And where do these people come from? And who are they affiliated? Are they affiliated with the Illuminati, the Satanists? Are they all best buddies on their offshore accounts, raking in the dough, illegal dough? Because the way I look at it, the Bank of Canada should be financing a lot of these infrastructure company contracts free of charge, like zero interest, so that there should be no tolls in Canada. There should be no hefty P3 tax incentives to enslave people financially. That's municipal, provincially, or federally. Okay. So I'm asking media people to really do your due diligence there, that have the means and the access to dig up the information. Please do so, because I know for a fact that a lot of that has been duplicated along with the CAFR cooking of the books in every city. Which again, oh, they scream lack, 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 when the universe is unlimited, folks. The universe is unlimited. Why do we again have to pay for hydro when we could have generators? Why, it's all big smoke and mirrors. So hopefully what happened in Sandy will be a trigger point that will initiate a lot of positive change for everybody around the world. That's my wish and my hope. And I'm hoping that everybody pulls together to help everyone out there. And I have a link on my website also to help any lost and missing animals under Beloved Animals. That was there for Katrina. It's still there if people are having problems on the East Coast regarding animals. It's there on my website. Check it out. And pull together and do all you can to support each other at this time. No matter what community you're in, please. This is a time of heart-centered cooperation. That's what we need. And especially in the new age where there's been a lot of unnecessary treachery going on and judgments and, oh, you don't channel, so you're not going to get supported, blah, blah, blah. Well, one thing I'd like to say is that the original teachings of Christ was, do not go outside yourself for your answers. Okay? That was the original teachings of Christ. So before you start saying, well, if you don't see stuff on my website, well, ask yourself why. Instead of judging, why not say, well, how can I assist this person free of charge through my heart of service on how I can support, rather than, well, I think you need to do this or I think you need to do that, without being proactive and constructive in that capacity. Now, with regard to, I have many, many wonderful things that I'm going to bring forward through the media and through my new websites in the very near future, including my book and DVDs and educational applications to what I've spoken about tonight. So please keep that in mind for anybody. If you want to connect with me, do so personally via Skype and email, okay? Because I'm not going to do any kind of stuff via texting. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, love ya.